Hey, welcome to the channel. Vibecode 30 challenge, day 4. Gonna try to make a interviewing app. Gonna start in Gemini. We're gonna just try to talk things out and see and generate a PRD, which is product requirements document. So we're gonna type, please for an app that interviews you. Asks for the job title. Act as a technical recruiter. This is going to be for tech jobs, obviously. Ask for a job title, and you act as a technical recruiter, asking a mix of technical and what's the word for non-technical? Behavioral questions. Have an interface for me to record a response and be able to stop recording when done. Assess the response. And move on to the next question when ready. So we could just put this into Firebase, but I think it's a little bit easier to talk to Gemini and maybe hash things out at first. Does it know I'm doing this in Firebase? The target audience, success metrics. So, sorry, I'm just reading through this real quick. At the end, provide a summary of feedback based on my performance. What else do you think we need? Let's see. Oh, I think we need to add text to speech. Have the AI use text to speech to read out the questions. And this will be built using Firebase Studio. I think it already knows that. It already put Firebase elements. Alright, so I think we're ready. Okay, so now we need to figure out how to get it to Firebase. Oh, there's copy contents. So here we go. Hopefully this is formatted enough for its brain to translate it. I like using Firebase Studio so far if there's multiple components, like for AI functions as well as, I guess, AI functions and database, I guess. Card-based interface, body line, use minimalist, progressive questioning. It's funny how all that text comes down to just what looks like a few things. So, looks pretty good. We'll see how it does, how long it takes. One of the things I like about Firebase Studio is you don't run out of credits just trying to fix errors. And we'll let it run. We'll see how many minutes that takes. Okay, not bad. That took about 5 minutes. We will try being an LLM engineer or prompt engineer. Prompt engineer. Ooh, I'm kind of embarrassed. Answers to these questions kind of suck. But, it's part of the process. There's going to be some troubleshooting. Oh, auto-generate a key. That's a cool thing about using Firebase. The key, you can generate like a free key quickly, but you should use a developer key because, because this free key will probably run out of resources as you're testing it out. Phone call. Spam. Okay. Should we investigate? I guess we'll investigate why the app isn't starting. Let's see. Another error to fix. Come on, Firebase, you can do it. It's thinking. It's not the fastest of responses, or not the fastest of performance. Could not generate question. Why not? No media returned.
Explain how you would fine-tune a pre-trained LLM for a specific domain-specific task, such as legal document analysis. What are the key considerations, challenges, and metrics you would track?
Okay, let's try this again. LLM engineer. Try again. I think the first question should be, tell me about yourself. And maybe just an option in general to have just one question so you wouldn't have to do all 5.
Explain the concept of prompt engineering in the context of LLMs. Describe a scenario where you would use advanced prompt engineering techniques, for example, few-shot learning, chain of thought, to improve model performance for a specific task, and outline the steps you would take.
Prompt engineering is molding prompt to get a better response. You would use few-shot learning to give additional examples, or you could use chain of thought reasoning so that the LLM thinks step by step. This is pretty brutal. The candidate's definition of prompt engineering was overly simplistic. The response failed to describe the specific scenario or outline the steps for applying advanced techniques. This is true. I admit this is true. Okay, this gives good feedback. I mean, you could just put this in ChatGPT, but while this is an interface, we could add record and transcribe to text. And then I guess we'd have to test. We'd have to test the summary. So, this is the last thing I guess I'll do. Please make one question an option for faster feedback. That should be good. I forgot I was going to implement recording. I think recording the dictation would be more realistic, because when I'm typing, I can just kind of stall and, not finish my thought. I can stall for time. So please add recording my response and transcribing it functionality into the app. Okay, we typed LLM engineer again. And I assume it's trying to get the question. In the performance of this in general kind of makes me doubtful of the performance of AI apps in general. No media return.
Tell me about a time you encountered an unexpected or unexplainable output from an LLM. How did you approach debugging and resolving the issue?
Just now, I received an error that no response was received, but then the response came, so I could ignore the problem. But for troubleshooting, I would have tried to see if there's any error messages in the logs. I would try to troubleshoot if it's connection error. I think I actually have like high latency on my network right now, so that could be an issue. And I try to fix those. Okay, that's not a great answer, but we are live. Okay. I had an error during this chat where it said it didn't receive any message, but then your voice started talking. So this shows me that there was probably some type of latency. If I didn't receive a response, I would check logs and check that the prompt is being properly called from the API, check if my API key is fine, and that's what I would do. I should have edited my this thing's roasting me. The candidate largely misinterpreted the question, describing a platform communication error rather than an unexpected LLM output, and the debugging steps offered were basic API troubleshooting, lacking depth relative to an LLM engineering role. Okay, that's great feedback. So I think this is pretty successful. I chose one answer and it just finished. Let's see. One question was answered. It didn't provide a summary report. Okay, it sees the error and it is fixing it. At the end of the feedback for the question, could you provide a button for the AI to, what's a good word for fabricate, to generate a better answer? Using parts of my answer, of the answer I provided. All right, I think this will do the trick. My cat wants to visit. Okay, here we go. LLM engineer. One question. Cat decided to visit, but she wants to step on the keys and everything.
You are building a Q&A system for a large enterprise knowledge base using LLM. Tell me about a time when you encountered an unexpected or challenging behavior from an LLM you were working with. How did you diagnose the root cause, and what steps did you take to resolve or mitigate the issue?
One of the times I experienced an issue was this LLM wasn't responding in time, so I believe it was a network issue. I'm going to answer this kind of badly. I should never. Okay, my cat wants to get in the show. Hello, kitty. Goodbye, kitty. Oh, terrible. It didn't answer. It didn't, okay, here we go. LLM engineer. Start interview.
Can you describe the process of fine-tuning a pre-trained LLM for a specific downstream task? What are some common challenges you might encounter, and how would you address them? You are developing a RAG-based LLM application to provide personalized learning recommendations. Describe your process for selecting the appropriate embedding model and LLM, designing the retrieval strategy, and establishing an evaluation framework to measure the quality, relevance, and novelty of the recommendations.
done this for an app. That was a chatbot that needed to remember the previous conversation. I'm just going to leave it at that and let it. Oh. Going back to the main screen. This is such a bad answer. So we're in the loop where this is probably the third time that it's still doing it. This is about the third time where after I respond, it just kicks me back to the main screen. So this is kind of a brute force approach. Just keep asking it to fix it, fix it, fix it. Hopefully it'll figure it out in 3 or 4 tries. But if we were doing this on another platform, we would be burning credits just asking for it to troubleshoot, and and it fails in a loop, so it's kind of just wasting your money. It's very apologetic and it's very confident in its fix that it will absolutely fix this problem. Engineering gives LMs instructions can tweak and shot fusion or chain of thought prompting. So here we are. This is the 4th time we're in a cycle of.
Tell me about a time you encountered an unexpected or suboptimal output from an LLM you were working with. What was your process for diagnosing the issue, and what steps did you take to iterate and improve its performance?
Problem encoding this one. We'll give a short answer that is sure to fail. Interview complete. Okay, now this is pretty good. I feel bad that I am a bad candidate for this, but it gives me feedback and I know what to work on. So Thanks for showing up. And I think I'm going to use this to study. I'm going to use probably just ChatGPT. But I think recording my answer is important because when I just type it out, it's not the same. There's not the same type of pressure to get your thoughts together and answer the question. All right, thanks. See you tomorrow.